Once upon a time, there lived a young and kind man named Dozie. He was a dreamer, a fighter, and a man with a heart of gold. Day and night, he worked tirelessly, not for himself alone, but for those he loved most. His wife, his little daughter, and his family back home. Every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every drop of sweat was for them. Dozie's heart was filled with joy as the thought of visiting home consumed him. He had lived in Europe for 10 long years, 10 years of suffering, grinding through endless hustles, all for a better life for himself, his wife, and his daughter, whom he had never even seen in person. Shortly after he traveled, his wife, Nene, had given birth to their only daughter, Amara. Since then, they had spoken only through video calls and WhatsApp messages. He had spent just 1 month with Nene after their wedding before his visa came through. Back then, he had promised her he would return to take her along with him. And now that day had come. As the plane touched down in Lagos, his heart fluttered with excitement. He was finally home. The air was different, loud, humid, chaotic, but it was his. He had missed it deeply. The bustling sounds of Lagos filled his ears. He was finally back to reunite with his family. But then his thoughts drifted to his mother, and sadness washed over him. He had promised to return to see her, but she had died 5 years after he left. He hadn't made it to her burial. Immigration delays had kept his papers in limbo, and he couldn't risk losing everything. He had sent money to his stepsisters to give her a befitting burial, but it wasn't the same. He wished she were alive to see the life he had worked so hard for. A single tear rolled down his cheek, and he quickly wiped it away, pushing the sorrow aside. He reached for his phone and switched it on. Almost immediately it rang. 'Twas Nene. "Honey, have you arrived?" she asked. "Yes, I've arrived. I'll be on my way to you now," he replied with a smile. His heart swelled with anticipation. He was finally going to be with her after all these years. As the taxi carried him toward home, he couldn't stop picturing their reunion. But then something caught his attention. A black Jeep following the taxi closely. His heart skipped a beat, a tightening sensation creeping into his chest. He told himself it was probably a coincidence and looked back at his phone, trying to distract himself. Moments later, the Jeep accelerated, overtaking them and blocking the road. The tires screeched to a halt, and 3 men in black, faces covered with masks and guns in hand, jumped out. "Oga, come down from your car and enter ours peacefully," one of them ordered in a low, menacing voice. Dozie hesitated, mind racing. Before he could react, a hot slap landed across his face. His head snapped back from the impact. In seconds, the cold barrel of a gun pressed into his back, forcing him into their vehicle. The doors slammed shut, and they sped away into the night. For a moment, he sat in disbelief. Who could have told them about his return? Only his wife knew, and he was certain she would never harm him. Or would she? The ride felt endless. His mind kept circling back to the question. If it wasn't her, then who? Eventually, they arrived at a secluded location. The kidnappers ripped off his blindfold. "Oga, if you cooperate, this will be over quickly and you'll be free. But if you make things difficult, we'll kill you," one said. Dozie's heart pounded as he prayed silently. "Please God, help me get out of here alive." They handed him a small old Nokia phone and ordered him to call his family for ransom. His hands trembled as he dialed Nene's number. "Hello, Dozie. Where have you been? I've been calling you over and over, but you haven't answered," she said, her voice a mix of relief and panic. "It's me," he said, choking on his words. "I've been kidnapped by some unknown men. I don't know what they want. Please, inform my 2 sisters. They'll be worried too." Before he could say more, one of the kidnappers snatched the phone. "Madam, we don't have time to waste. If you want to see your husband alive, you need to pay 50 million naira. "Jesus!" Nene cried. "Where will we get that kind of money? Please don't hurt him." "It seems you don't understand," the man said coldly. "If you don't pay, your husband dies." A gun butt slammed into Dozie's side. He cried out in pain, and Nene screamed from the other end of the line. "Please don't hurt him. We'll find the money," she promised through sobs. "We'll send it to you. Just don't hurt him." The phone was yanked away, and Dozie was shoved into a dimly lit, unfinished building. The door slammed shut, locking him inside. They fed him once a day, only a piece of stale bread that left him hungry and weak. Still, he clung to hope, praying for a way out. Every day, sitting in the darkness, he repeated the same prayer in his heart. God, please don't let me die like this. I've suffered for 10 years for a better life. Please don't let it end here. Days passed until one afternoon. Footsteps approached. The caretaker, the man assigned to bring him food, entered with another piece of bread. Please, Dozie said weakly. Can I get some water? My throat is so dry. The man hesitated. Oga, dem no say make I give you water oh. If I give you no talk say I give you. Dem go sack me. Dozie's eyes widened. Can you help me get out of here? The caretaker looked around nervously, then whispered. If you give me 1 million naira, I fit help you escape. I overheard them. After they get the ransom they plan to kill you. Your wife already day bring the money. Dozie's heart dropped. How can you help me? You go pay me first. Then when I lock the door, climb through the roof. There's a gap. Jump and run. Don't look back. Shaking but desperate, Dozie convinced him to fetch his phone from a pile of belongings in the corner. The caretaker returned, pressing it into his hand. Please Oga, don't use this against me. I day risk my life. Dozie quickly transferred the money. It's done. Now what? When I lock the door go, the caretaker said. The moment the door shut, Dozie scrambled up, pulled himself through the gap, and dropped to the ground outside. His legs shook, but fear pushed him forward. He ran deep into the forest, every breath ragged. It was already evening when he heard the sound of an engine. Diving into the bushes, he peered through the leaves and froze. It was the black jeep that had abducted him, followed closely by a white Camry. His stomach twisted when he recognized it. It was the car he had bought for his stepsisters Amanda and Ella. The realization hit him like a punch to the gut. Could they have been involved in this too? As the sound of the jeep and the Camry faded into the night, Dozie's heart pounded harder. Every nerve in his body screamed at him to keep moving. He pushed his legs faster through the thick undergrowth, branches scratching his arms, the damp forest air clinging to his skin. He had escaped, but he knew the danger was far from over. Finally, a faint glow appeared ahead, lights. Hope surged in his chest. He staggered toward them and emerged onto a dusty road where a police checkpoint stood. A police officer in his mid-30s, rifle slung casually over his shoulder, looked up at the sight of him, disheveled, bruised, and gasping for air. Please, officer. Dozie's voice cracked with desperation. I've been kidnapped. They wanted to kill me. Escaped. Please, I need help. I need to report it. The officer's eyes softened as he took in Dozie's torn clothes and battered face. All right, calm down, my brother. You're safe now. Let's get you to the station. We'll take care of it. Relief washed over Dozie like cool water. For the first time in days, he felt a flicker of safety. But even as he climbed into the police van, his mind raced. The white Camry haunted his thoughts. Could Amanda and Ella truly be behind this? His own stepsisters. Back at the kidnapper's hideout, Amanda and Ella stood beside a wooden table stacked high with neat bundles of ransom money. 50 million naira. Their eyes shone with greed. I can't believe we're finally getting our revenge, Amanda said with a bitter smile. Dozie's mother came into our home and scattered our peaceful life. Ella scoffed. He was never there for us. He doesn't deserve anything. Now we'll take it all. His properties, his money, everything he's ever worked for. The kidnapper boss, a tall man with a cold, calculating gaze, nodded slowly. Don't worry, madam. Tonight we finish the job. Dozie will not see the light of day again. Satisfied with his assurance, Amanda and Ella gathered their belongings and left the hideout, still whispering excitedly about the life of luxury they were about to claim. But their celebration was cut short after their departure. Moments later, the caretaker stumbled into the room, face pale and hands trembling. Boss, Dozie, he's escaped. He's gone. The boss froze, his voice dropping dangerously low. What do you mean, escaped? I didn't see it coming, the caretaker stammered. I gave him his food, locked the door, but when I came back he was gone. Must have climbed through the roof and run into the bush. The boss's expression twisted into fury. Get the others. We're not done yet. We'll find him. The caretaker stood rooted to the spot, guilt and fear battling in his eyes. He had done his part to help Dozie escape, but if the truth came out, he'd be a dead man. Hours later, when the search team returned empty-handed, the boss's anger simmered into cold indifference. "It doesn't matter," he said at last. "We have the money. That's all that counts." He smirked and picked up his phone. "I'll call Amanda and Ella. Let them think their plan worked. They don't need to know the truth." Amanda's voice was eager when she answered. "It's him. Boss, is it done?" "Yes," the boss lied smoothly. "Dozie's dead. I've disposed of the body. He won't be a problem again." Amanda's laughter rang through the room. She turned to Ella. "We did it. He's gone. We're free." Ella grinned, her eyes glinting. "Finally. Now we can claim everything he owned." The next morning, the two sisters swept dramatically into the police station to report their brother missing. Their performance was flawless. Faces twisted in grief, voices cracking with emotion. Ella threw herself on the floor, wailing, "What has Dozie done to deserve this? Who did we offend? Even after we paid the ransom, they still killed him." Detective Chica, standing at the back of the room, watched silently. His sharp eyes didn't miss the overplayed gestures or the inconsistencies in their words. When he finally stepped forward, his tone was calm but probing. "Why didn't you report the case immediately when you knew he'd been taken?" Ella sniffled, her voice trembling. "The kidnappers warned us not to involve the police. They said they would kill him if we did." Chica didn't press further, not yet. But in his mind, the pieces were already shifting into place. This was no ordinary kidnapping. It was planned. The next day, Nene received an invitation to come in for questioning. She sat in the cold, sterile interrogation room, her fingers twisting in her lap, eyes darting nervously around the small space. Detective Chica entered, closing the door behind him. He didn't sit right away, but stood at the edge of the table, his gaze fixed on her like a predator watching its prey. "Nene, we both know why you're here," he began evenly. "This isn't just about your husband being kidnapped. The story you've told doesn't add up. The kidnappers knew exactly when he would return. You were the only one he told. And you didn't report it to us right away. That doesn't sound like fear. It sounds like planning." Nene swallowed hard, trying to steady her voice. I didn't know. They called me and I was scared. I thought they'd kill him if I went to the police." Chica leaned forward, his voice low. "And why didn't you stop Amanda and Ella from selling his property?" I thought they were just handling things," she said quickly. "I didn't want to make it worse." Chica's eyes narrowed. "They blackmailed you, didn't they? They found out about your affair." Her head jerked up, her face paling. How do you know about that?" "We know everything," Chica replied. "The affair with that businessman. How Amanda and Ella used it against you. They told you that if you didn't help them, they'd expose you. So you cooperated, even if it meant putting your husband's life at risk." Nene's hands trembled in her lap, her voice breaking. "I didn't want to hurt Dozie. They forced me. I thought if I went along with it, it would end quickly. I thought they'd stop after the ransom was paid." Chica held her gaze for a long moment before delivering the final blow. "There's something you don't know, Nene. Dozie survived." Her mouth fell open, eyes wide with shock. "What?" "He escaped," Chica said simply. "He's alive. And he's been watching everything unfold." Weeks passed after Dozie's escape. Detective Chica and his team had been quietly gathering evidence, letting Amanda, Ella, and the kidnappers believe they had gotten away with everything. But greed is a dangerous thing, and it was greed that finally pushed them into making a fatal mistake. One of Dozie's prime properties, a large piece of land worth millions, had been listed for sale by Amanda and Ella. To them, it was just another asset to claim. To Chica, it was the perfect opportunity to set a trap. An undercover agent posing as a wealthy buyer contacted the sisters, expressing interest in the property. After a few brief conversations, they eagerly agreed to meet in person to finalize the deal and sign documents. The date and location were set. In the days leading up to the meeting, Dozie stayed hidden away in a safe house, an Airbnb apartment far from prying eyes. Chica had insisted he keep a low profile for his own safety. For once, Dozie agreed without protest. The night before the operation, Chica came to see him. "It's time, Dozie," he said. "They're going to meet our agent tomorrow. We'll have them in handcuffs before they even realize what's happening. Are you ready?" Dozie's jaw tightened. "I've been ready since the day they tried to kill me," he replied, his voice low but steady. The next morning, the sting operation was set in motion. The undercover agent arrived at the property first, carrying a fake contract and a briefcase to keep up appearances. From a distance, plainclothes officers positioned themselves, blending into the surrounding area. Amanda and Ella soon arrived, dressed in elegant clothes and wearing the air of women who believed victory was within their grasp. "We have a buyer ready to sign today," Amanda said, her tone dripping with excitement. "Once this is done, we'll finally be free. Everything Dozie owned will be ours." Ella smirked. "He never cared about us. He didn't even notice us. Now we're taking everything, his money, his properties. All of it." They sat across from the undercover agent, signing documents with confident strokes of their pens. Just as the last signature was placed, Detective Chica gave the signal. In an instant, officers emerged from all directions. "What's going on?" Amanda demanded, her voice rising. Ella's eyes darted wildly. "This isn't what we planned. Why are you arresting us? We haven't done anything." But then they froze. Standing just beyond the officers, watching them with cold, steady eyes, was Dozie. Alive, breathing, unbroken. "You thought you could get away with it," he said, his voice calm but edged with steel. "You thought I was dead, but I'm not. And now, you'll face the consequences." Amanda's mouth opened, but no words came out. Ella's face drained of color. The sisters had celebrated too soon, and now their world was crumbling. At the police station, they were separated into different interrogation rooms. Chica went in first to speak with Amanda. "You thought you were clever," he said, leaning back in his chair. "The ransom money, the kidnapping, the sale of his property. You didn't just try to steal from him. You tried to kill him. Why?" Amanda's expression was defiant. "He deserved it. He never treated us like family. We had nothing while he had everything. We had to do this." In another room, Ella was just as bitter. "He never cared about us. Why should we care about him? This was our turn." "So it was all about revenge and greed?" Chica asked. Ella gave a sharp laugh. "Call it whatever you want. We did what we had to do." The more they spoke, the more the full plan came to light. How they had blackmailed Nene into cooperating, how they had worked with the kidnappers, how they had begun selling Dozie's properties before he was even declared dead. They had thought they were untouchable. Now they were just another case file on Chica's desk. The investigation moved swiftly now that the truth was out. Amanda and Ella's statements, Nene's confession, and the recovered ransom money built an unshakable case. Every property they had tried to sell, every transaction they had made, was traced and reversed. Dozie sat quietly in the back of the courtroom on the first day of the trial. He had thought that seeing them in the dock would bring him satisfaction, but what he felt was different. His heart was heavy, not just with anger, but with the weight of betrayal. These were people he had loved, people he had trusted, and they had conspired to end his life. The prosecution laid out the evidence piece by piece: the phone records, the money trail, the testimonies of the kidnappers who turned on them. The story unfolded before the judge like a carefully woven tapestry of greed, revenge, and cruelty. Amanda sat stiff, her eyes darting to the gallery every now and then, as if searching for sympathy. Ella was less composed, shifting in her seat, her lips pressed into a thin, hard line. When Nene took the stand, her voice shook. She admitted her part in the plot, how Amanda and Ella had used the knowledge of her affair to force her cooperation. She described the fear, the shame, and the foolish hope that paying the ransom would end the nightmare. "I never wanted him dead," she whispered, tears rolling down her cheeks. "I was weak. I made the wrong choice. And now I have to live with that." Dozie's eyes stayed on her, unreadable. She couldn't meet his gaze. When the final verdict came, the courtroom was silent. Amanda and Ella were found guilty of conspiracy, kidnapping, blackmail, and fraud. The judge's voice was steady as he delivered the sentence: 20 years in prison for each of them. Nene's involvement, though under duress, could not be overlooked. The betrayal of her husband was too great to be excused. She was sentenced to 5 years in prison, with the possibility of parole after serving half. When it was over, Dozie walked out of the courthouse into the bright afternoon sun. The air felt different now, not because the pain was gone but because the fight was over. The ransom money had been returned. The properties that had been illegally sold were restored. But to him these were just material things. What mattered was that he had survived. That night, sitting in the quiet of his safe house, Dozie made a decision. He would take Amara and leave. Leave the chaos, the betrayal, the shadows of what had been done to him. He would build a new life somewhere far away, where his daughter could grow up untouched by the poison of greed and resentment. "I don't know what the future holds," he murmured to himself, staring out into the night. "But I'll make sure Amara never has to face what I did. I'll build a life for her and for me, one built on trust, not lies." And so, with the past locked away behind steel bars and a future waiting to be written, Dozie stepped forward into a new chapter of his life. The scars would remain, but they would no longer define him. For he had learned, in the hardest way possible, that sometimes survival is the greatest victory of all. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.